Welcome to the Titan Tar channel. Today we have an incredible topic to discuss about the unit cost of the F-15EX will be $94 million according to the USAF. Don't miss the chance to join us and share your opinions with us. The unit cost of the F-15EX will be $93.95 million per plane in yearly dollars. This information was disclosed in the most recent Selected Acquisition Report of the United States Armed Forces. This value considers the acquisition of 104 fighters, as planned by the U.S. Air Force, provided that Congress approves the necessary funding. This SAR is particularly significant as it marks the transition of the F-15EX from a mid-tier acquisition effort to a major defense acquisition program. The change in program status reflects the importance and scale of the planned acquisition. In a separate report, the U.S. Air Force noted an increase in unit cost for the F-15 passive/active warning survivability system. This was due to the substantial reduction in the number of electronic warfare suites that will be acquired to equip the F-15E fleet. This reduction led to an increase in the system's unit costs. Compared to the 2020 base program, the F-15EX program actually achieved a 5.24% reduction in unit cost as a result of the U.S. Air Force reversing some of the reductions planned for the F-15EX fleet. It is important to note that any additional adjustments to the final number of aircraft acquired could impact the unit acquisition cost of $93.95 million. Previously, with a smaller number of aircraft acquired, the APUC was $114.2 million. The F-15EX report is based primarily on calendar 2022 information, but has been updated with data reflecting the U.S. Air Force's fiscal year 2024 plan, which includes an increase in the purchase of 24 aircraft in fiscal year 2022-2025. The F-15EX aircraft is manufactured by Boeing and is based on the F-15QA, which was built for Qatar. The main differences from the F-15E include a more powerful processor, the addition of 2 weapon stations, and a system that allows you to control moving surfaces. At the start of the program, Boeing estimated a unit cost of about $80 million for the F-15EX. Unit cost plays a significant role in the ongoing debate over the allocation of the United States Air Force's limited financial resources in pursuit of air superiority. Among the priorities, the F-35A stands out, whose cost in the last contract was approximately $80 million per aircraft, a fighter still under development, an autonomous program in the creation phase, and improvements planned for the fleet of fighter jets. Existing 4th and 5th generation. After initially resisting the inclusion of the F-15EX in the USAF budget in 2018, Pentagon leadership opted to adopt the updated version of the F-15 as a measure to combat the aging fighter fleet, which has an average age of approximately 30 years. Due to the limitations of F-35 production capacity, the development stage of the new fighter and the autonomous program, as well as the urgent need to replace a substantial part of the F-15C divided by D fleet, which suffers from structural fatigue, the USAF sees the F-15EX as a convenient solution. The service considers this aircraft to be a multi-role platform, capable of performing roles that include long-range strike against high-level threats, weapons transport, and ground attack roles after suppressing enemy defenses. The service notes that many F-15C/DS are beyond their service life, presenting significant airframe-related risks, wiring issues, and obsolete parts. This impacts readiness goals due to ongoing structural inspections, time-consuming repairs, and ongoing modernization efforts. On average, F-15C/DS are 38 years old, and 75% of the fleet has exceeded its certified service life of 9,000 hours. The oldest F-15C was delivered in 1979. The introduction of the F-15EX will capitalize on the F-15's existing infrastructure, improving its logistics, maintenance, and training. Initially, the F-15EX was part of a mid-tier acquisition program, allowing the USAF to acquire the first 2 aircraft in less than a year after contract signing. Now, as a major acquisition program, the USAF intends to maintain the pace of F-15EX acquisition to quickly revitalize the F-15C divided by D fleet. However, The quantities to be acquired depend on congressional approval of the USAF's request for $145 million in above-limit reprogramming to enable the acquisition of two Batch 3 aircraft, which currently cannot be financed due to a $77 million reduction in the fiscal year 2021 budget and an $82 million congressional budget constraint in fiscal year 2022. The survivability of the F-15EX in future combat will be strongly influenced by the performance of the passive/active alert survivability system, an electronic warfare and jamming suite that merited specific evaluation. Notably, the unit cost of APOS increased due to the United States Air Force's decision to equip significantly fewer F-15E aircraft with this system, just 99, instead of the originally planned 217. This cost increase resulted in a breach, which means the Secretary of Defense must certify the program as essential or it will be automatically canceled. At the time of the decision, the program unit acquisition cost for APOS was $17.355 million per system, in contrast to the average unit acquisition cost of $13.3 million. This represents a significant increase over the previous baseline unit costs, which were $13.3 million and $10.1 million, respectively. A Boeing executive director of business development on September 11th provided information to reporters during the Air, Space, and Cyber Summit, stating that F-15EX aircraft numbers 3 through 8 are expected to be delivered between the end of the fourth quarter of the year, fiscal year 2023, and the first quarter of fiscal year 2024. Aircraft numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6 will be flown to Florida Air Force Base for testing, while aircraft numbers 7 and 8 will represent the first aircraft operationally configured F-15EX, which will be assigned to the Air National Guard. Negotiations regarding Lots 2, 3, and 4 are ongoing, as indicated by the director, who predicts that these negotiations will end soon. Boeing has plans to achieve production rates of up to 48 aircraft per year and has mentioned Indonesia's interest in acquiring 24 of the jets, with other potential customers showing interest. The acquisition report highlighted that initial operational capability of the F-15EX is projected for June or July 2024, but the program is ahead of schedule in this regard. The full-scale production decision could come as early as next month, although the official timeline puts it in June 2024, as reported by the U.S. Air Force. Full operational capability of the F-15EX is planned for 2027, but the U.S. Air Force has signaled that this milestone may be reached sooner than anticipated. The report defined FOC as the moment when 44 aircraft will be fully equipped with all necessary maintenance and testing systems, spare parts, and will have properly trained maintainers and pilots. The report also estimated that the total cost of the F-15EX program, including development, program acquisition, and military construction, will reach $12.47 billion. It's always a pleasure to share our discoveries and knowledge with you here on the Titan Tar channel. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave your comment. To the next.